Hey everybody, what's going on? Review Man here, and today I want to talk about this movie that I've just seen last night, for a matter of fact. It's a 1982 horror movie. It's kind of like a cheesy horror movie, but it was okay. It's called Candyman. And this movie is just about this woman, her name's Helen. She's doing this research on the killer. And so she finds out that he lived in the 1800s and he got killed. They cut up his arm, and they cut up his arm, replaced his arm with a hook, and then after that they took this beehive, smothered the bees, and his body got consumed with bees. So she looks in this, and the legend is that if you look in the mirror if you look in the mirror and say his name 5 times, he'll appear. And that's pretty much true. So she looks in this mirror. She's with her friend. She says his name 5 times, and he starts stalking her. You're like, you will be my new slave, and you will commit to me, and blah 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 blah. And she's like, okay, I'll do it. And so he starts driving her crazy. And there's this one scene where her and a friend of hers, they're doing this paper on him, and they go to this place out in the projects, and then they meet this woman, and the woman tells them about this other woman that like pretty much died next door to him, and that's what they call Candyman country. And so what she does is she goes to this apartment where the whole thing went down at, and she goes to this she climbs through this, it looks like a medicine cabinet, but it's pretty much like a secret passage to the room in Candyman's lair. And so she gets out of there. She talks to the next door neighbor, the kid, and then there's this little kid that tells her about this little boy that died, that Candyman got him. And she's like, can you show me where it's at? He says, okay, sure, I'll show you where it's at. Takes her to this bathroom, this little porta-john outhouse outside. And the woman, she goes through, you can see like all this graffiti, and you can see all this other stuff. And she's opening up toilets left and right. It smells like the God's awful Dickens in there. I mean, it just smells freaking terrible. And she's over there like, he's over there doing this number right here, trying not to, and you can actually feel the scene in this movie. And then she opens up this final toilet. You can see the bees in there, because that's part of his calling card, is the bees. And she opens it up, she's like, ah! And then these people come in there, and she was like, are you looking for Kurt? And it's these people, they got a hook and all that. And the kid that shows her where the outhouse was, he turns around and is like, Candyman. And then they walk in the bathroom where she's at. She's like, I'm not a cop, I'm just a reporter. And he's like, are you looking for Candyman, bitch? Because she's right here. Pow! Baps her over the eye, knocks her out. She wakes up. She wakes up in a police studio, in a police police station. Gives her dude the whole, and then there's this police lineup, and there's these 5 guys. You're looking for Candyman. You're looking for Candyman. You're looking for Candyman. And he's like, okay, it's number 4. And so she was like, okay. Then they get number 4. And this is where the movie takes a strange turn. I mean, if it's not strange for you already, but this is where the movie takes a strange turn. Candyman starts possessing her, and what she does is she forces her to kill to break into the lady's house that told her about the whole thing in the first place. Whenever they got to the lair, she starts going crazy and starts attacking the woman with a knife. And the woman's like, hey, it's a baby, oh, she attacking me. So they arrest her, And then after that, she gets arrested, and she gets I think she gets like for second she gets an assault charge, and then after that she just starts like going crazy, attacking. Who she attack next? She attacks who does she attack next? She attacks somebody, and then that puts her in this mental hospital. But before this is all going on, she's found out that her husband, uh, she found out that her husband is cheating on her with with one of his students, cause her husband's a teacher at the college where she's a grad student at. And so that's how she was getting her A's in grad student. Did I say that? So anyway, she's in a mental hospital after she's because they sedate her because she's like, oh, Candyman is real, he's real, he's real, and so they sedate her, and then about a scene or two later, she's going into this meet with like the head doctor. She's like, I want to talk to my husband. I want to talk to my. Oh wait, never mind. That's what it was. That's who she attacked. She attacked her husband, and then she also attacked no, she broke in. She started acting crazy with her husband, and her husband called the mental hospital, and that's how she got to the mental hospital. She's like, I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. And she said, do you remember whenever you came in here? Yeah, it was last week. No. And then the doctor was like, no, it's a month ago. He's like, a month ago? Yeah, we've been sedating you for a month, keeping you under observation, and all this other stuff. And then the doctor was like, do you think he's real? He's like, yeah, I think he's real. So the doctor says the guy's name 5 times. And then all of a sudden you see him come up with a hook and pretty much takes the hook, and then you just see the guy's mouth start bleeding, and Candyman creates an escape for the woman. She hops out the window, and she goes to like another floor, and she knocks this woman out. But luckily they're in a mental hospital because nobody tell anything. So she knocks this woman out. She takes her clothes. She escapes. And then she goes back to the lair. That's where she finds the baby at. That's where she finds she goes back to Candyman's lair. And so they do like this weird scene in this movie. He starts they start talking. He lays her down on this table. He gives her a kiss. And this was the weirdest kiss I have ever seen in a movie. And I've seen a lot of movies. So this is the weirdest kiss you've ever seen in a movie. He kisses her, and then there's these bees coming out of her mouth. Coming out of his mouth. And you see like the bees just flying all over her. Candyman escapes with the baby, and then a few minutes later, she wakes up. She starts looking all over the place, and then she goes back to she goes outside. Maybe missing some stuff here. She goes outside to this big old structure, and it's actually a bonfire that the people and to kill Candyman once and for all. And so what she does is the little black boy, the little colored boy, that told her where Candyman killed this little boy at. He's like, Candyman's in there, Candyman's in there. So he goes to tell everybody, and they're all like, Candyman's in there, Candyman's in there. They all get their torches and stuff. And then the woman, she goes inside Helen. She goes inside the structure, and she sees the baby because she knew Candyman had the baby in there, And so she goes just crawling through the structure. And she gets the baby. And Candyman's like, don't you leave me. Don't you leave me. You can't live without me. Hey, baby. You're mine now. And then they start, the people on the outside, they start setting fire to the structure. And Helen's yelling in there, I'm in here. I'm in here. But they can't hear it. They can't hear it because they're screaming over the fire. And she's like, no, I'm in here. I'm in here. And then Candyman's like, come back, come back, come back. And it's like, and then after that, she crawls out of the structure, and she's got the baby, and Candyman's just burning. And then the mama that told her about the whole Candyman thing in the first place, she's like, that's my baby. Helen's just like, she's got all her hair burned off, and she just hands the baby to the mama. And then then the next thing we see is them just watching the fire burn while Candyman burns inside. Well, he just burns inside. And then the next thing we see is her funeral, Helen's funeral. The people that are at the funeral is the preacher, the wife, no, the preacher, the ex-husband, the preacher, the ex-husband, and the ex-husband's girlfriend or fiance, whatever you want to call her. And then there's like a few other people that told her, for a few other colleagues. And the next thing we see is whenever they lower her into the casket, whenever they lower the casket into the ground, was pretty much everybody from the project, pretty much everybody from the housing development, come over and then just paying their final respects as a way to saying thank you to her for killing Candyman, and then as a way for her to kill Candyman, and just pretty much a way to say thank you. And then the last thing we see is the ex-husband just sitting in the bathroom at his apartment, and he's just like feeling like really bad about missing Helen and all this other stuff. And so what he does is he looks in the bathroom mirror. He's like, Helen, 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 Helen. Then all of a sudden you see a light splashing. You see a light splashing. He turns around, and Helen's right here, and she says something about wedded bliss or something like that. She stabs him, and then she just disappears. And the next thing you see, the last thing we see in the movie, is that girlfriend, his girlfriend or wife or whatever she is, just look in the bathroom and say, ah! And that's pretty much where the movie ends. It's her killing him. So, this was a pretty good movie, pretty good horror movie. I probably left a few deaths out. Yeah, I think I did. I left the death out where Candyman kills Helen's best friend with, I forgot how he did it. And then there was numerous torture scenes where he was trying to get her over to his side. There was numerous torture scenes in this movie. And he can use that damn hook pretty good. And if he ever wanted to become a fisherman, he could be like, he could connect. Actually, it was this arm. This arm was chopped off, and there was like a hook right here, and the hook was like curved like that. But if you ever want to be a fisherman, he could just tie a little piece of fishing wire, and then just hook it in there. Come here, fishy. Come here, fishy. We got dinner. So anyway, guys, I'm the review man. I'm gonna try my darndest to post more videos more often, other besides once a month. I'm going to try for about 2 or 3 videos a week. I'm going to get back to some gameplay videos and things like that. So anyway, guys, don't, what am I going to leave you with today's final rule? Don't say his name 5 times in the mirror, or else he might come looking for you. So, I'm the Review Man. You are you. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Evening, day, whatever time you're watching this.